Hey, and welcome back to StudioBro.net. In this video I will show you how I created the music and the sound design for this trailer. Among other things, I used my own synthesizer plugin QUADRIUM to create the music. Starting mid-September 25, there will be a Kickstarter campaign for QUADRIUM that will help me to finish the plugin. And I would be really grateful if you could have a look at the campaign, and even more grateful if you could support the project. Thank you. Alright, we're gonna start with setting up some markers. I had a good idea where I want to go with the score. I wanted to start by building up some tension, and then I want to come to a break where I play some hits on a Velociraptor, and then I want to have a grand finale. And yeah, here I'm setting up the markers and giving them the right name, and then I will play a deep string bass. I'm using the modulation and the dynamics here to build up some tension, and on the bridge, on the end of the intro, everything gets really loud. This was the part where everything gets really loud, and then there will be a break. Now I'm gonna edit the string bass to fit a little bit more to what I wanted to hear. It was a little bit too quiet, and after I did that, I will record some violins. Here also I used dynamics to build up the tension. And by the way, I'm using the Spitfire Audio Symphonic strings. Okay, now we're gonna copy the violins and transpose them one octave down. I think that sounds quite good. Now we're gonna use the first preset from QUADRIUM, some deep hits, and we're gonna play them on the beginning of the track. We're gonna use the preset Power Hits. Sounds good. Okay, now let's play some trombones. It should sound mystic and dangerous. And I need the third chord. I'm gonna record this right now. Third chord is for the bridge. Yes, I liked that. Let's get it into the project. Here it is. And now we're gonna play the QUADRIUM preset Blow Pad. what we're trying to achieve here in the intro is we want to build up tension, and yeah, then have a big bridge into the break. So therefore we're gonna record a few deep pads and high pads and some sound design to build up an atmosphere. Okay, now we're gonna record the next preset, Dream Flute. We're gonna play a little melody, not too much. And here I'm gonna set the modulation to the volume, so we can modulate the volume via the modulation wheel. Yes, as you can hear, we're slowly building up the tension. And now we're gonna record the next preset, Dishwasher Ghost. Also a deep pad. And funny side story, I built this preset from my dishwasher. I recorded my dishwasher and made some sound design, and now we have the Dishwasher Ghost preset. It's not the most interesting composition right now, but it builds up the tension. Okay, now I think it's the last pad. We're gonna record the glide pad. No, it's not the last, but we're shortly gonna do more composing stuff, not only sound design. Yeah, I like that. Let's record the QUADRIUM grain pad preset. I think that's the last pad. Okay, let's play another trombone. It's just one single note for the bridge. And now let's record some women choir, also for the bridge. I think that sounds cool. I will now copy it to the men's choir and transpose it 1 octave. So we have the full frequency spectrum here. Alright, now I will EQ the core a little bit. I like to cut some bass frequencies and cut some middle frequencies and yeah, push some high frequencies. Yeah, so we will hear the choir really nice in the full mix. Okay, let's add some more power hits from QUADRIUM for the bridge. I will edit them now a little bit because I think they were too quiet. I wanted to hear them more, so I raised the velocity a little bit. Alright, let's add some tremolo strings. We're gonna use them to build even more atmosphere and more tension in the intro. Yeah, we're coming close. Now let's add some boys choir. And I'm using the Voxos Boys Choir from Cinesamples. The whole sound architecture or sound design definitely goes in the direction of the original John Williams score from the first movie, because I really love the music, the movie and the music. Here I'm gonna edit the volume a little bit, and now we're gonna record a Celesta. Like I said, John Williams. Alright, now we're gonna record some whisper, also from the Voxos choir library. Again, just to build up the atmosphere. This score is more sound design than composing, but it fulfills its purpose. I hope so. Okay, now we're gonna record some women scream, but later on we will use it not in this place but another place. Okay, now, like I said, we want to add some hits on the Velociraptor pictures, and therefore I'm gonna sound design a bass sound right now. And therefore I use QUADRIUM and I use the module-able shape oscillator synthesis. I added a point to the shape oscillator, and this point is now modulated via the envelope. I also want to modulate the drive parameter via the envelope. Okay, let's tweak the shape for the wave shaping a little bit more. That's cool, that sounds nice. Now I added some unison, and I wanted to make a really quick sound, so I also modulate the filter cutoff via the filter envelope, and also modulate the volume or the amplifier via the amplifier envelope. And now I choose the ladder filter to make it sound a little bit fatter. I think that's cool. Let's add some frequency modulation. Here I choose the waveform and I'm gonna choose noise. Okay, let's also add some sample and hold and a bit crusher. I think that sounds quite nice, and let's, last but not least, add some reverb and delay. I wanted a long delay because, like I said, it's a break and there will be only a hit on the cut of the Velociraptor. Let's record it. Let's copy the recorded note. And let's add another bass sound. We're gonna choose the Ullmann Moog preset and edit the envelopes so that the envelope fits to the first bass sound. Some tweaking here. I also added reverb and delay and recorded the bass and copied it. And now I'm gonna record marimba sound, and I'm gonna transpose it down, I think 24 semitones. Yeah, and also record one note on this one hit. A little bit too quiet. That sounds good. I also added reverb and delay to the sound. Yeah, and now we're gonna move the women's screams on the right place and also copy the whispering from the intro also to this break part. Gonna edit the length a little bit. And now we also gonna record a piano bass hit. But we will make it a little bit shorter later. And after we added the piano, I cutted some dino footsteps that I found in the internet and placed them on the hits too, to give it even more impact. Already sounds cool, but that wasn't enough for me. So I added some more footsteps, dino footsteps. I did that here. I think now I liked it. Yeah, that has even more impact. Alright, let's add some rainforest. Like I said, I wanted to give the soundtrack the feeling of the old Jurassic Park soundtrack, and they also used these kind of things. I decided that I wanted to use the second version here. Yeah, as you can see, music, film music is not always just music. It's about building feelings, building emotions, building an atmosphere. And for that, sometimes you have to use rainforest sounds. Now we are gonna cut the piano bass, make it a little bit shorter and copy it. And now we also want to record a string bass for the hit. It's again the Spitfire Audio Symphonic strings. Like that. We'll copy it now. Raise the volume a little bit. And now copy the part. Okay, let's record some high strings, some violins, also for the break part and for the bridge, and to the finale. And now let's again record some chimbassi. Also to give it even more atmosphere and more tension. Let's copy that to some more chimbassi parts, and let's also copy the choirs from the first bridge and let's reuse it. And now let's add the rhythmic vocal effect. Not much, but enough to build up the tension. Now we're gonna record a Fujara flute. I'm not sure if that's pronounced correctly, but I like the sound. We're gonna add some timeless delay from FabFilter, and I'm using the standard configuration that comes up when you open up the plugin. Gives it even more atmosphere, and I'm gonna EQ the flute now a little bit, and now we're gonna cut the T-Rex sounds. I found them in the internet. In this video, in the description you will find the download link and you can use it freely. I think they sound great, and I also wanted to have some sounds on the last picture. And now we also want a deep hit for the last picture. Again, the power hits from QUADRIUM. Now we want to record some trombones for the grand finale, for the bridge. And now we also want to record a violin. No, a trumpet for this part. The soundtrack plays with a lot of silence. Now we are going to record some tremolo strings also for that bridge. And we want to have some second tremolo strings. First and second violins. Now we want to mix this T-Rex sound a little bit. It is a little bit muffy and not strong enough. So we're gonna add, we're gonna put it all on a group, and then we're gonna add some EQing to it. Now, first of all, we're gonna add some reverb. Sounds cool, and now we're gonna add the EQ. Cut some deep frequencies. No. Cut some middle frequencies and add some high frequencies. Now we're gonna copy the dino footsteps to the peg shot, to the last picture, to the finale, let's call it like that. And now we're gonna use the trombones to play the final chord. That sounds like power. And I record the trombones without some modulation data, and I'm gonna add it now. And we're gonna take these trombones, they come from Hollywood brass, from East West, and we're gonna copy them to the Spitfire brass. And also record some tremolo strings on this accord. That was the second violins, and now we're gonna record the first. And now we're gonna also record the choir, and everything is unison, same note. Same accord. After we recorded the women choir, we're gonna copy that part on the men's choir, and now record a crash crescendo. That was a little bit late. Let's edit it. A little bit louder, and now we're gonna record a crash, timpani decrescendo. So it starts loud and then gets quiet. I always record that with 2 fingers, so I have to edit it now. First of all, I will set it to the right starting point so that it starts with the final picture. And then I will edit the velocity. Did not record it perfect. And now let's put it on the right notes, because yeah, like I said, I record that with 2 fingers, so they are not on the right notes. That sounds good. Now we also need a timpani crescendo that starts low and gets loud, but it's in the end it's the same technique. I record it with 2 fingers, and after that I'm gonna edit it so that it sounds like I wanted it. So first of all, let's put it on the right position. Nah, okay. I think that's okay. Now the right notes. Yep. And after that we're gonna record a crash hit. Everything goes on the 1. Bam. Now we're gonna record, first of all we're gonna design a QUADRIUM sound. I wanted to also have a big chord sound on this, a big synth chord sound, and it's inspired by the THX intro. And the THX cinema intro, it starts in a chaos and then comes down to 1 fat note, and I wanted to achieve the same feeling with that preset that I'm designing here. So yeah, I start with virtual analog synthesis and add a lot of unison, and now I want to detune the second layer. First of all, I'll choose sawtooth and then detune the second layer. I wasn't quite sure if I want 5 semitones or 7, and I choose to use 7. Sounds good. Also unison. Let's add a third layer. We're gonna choose square and we're gonna modulate the pulse width. And we're gonna transpose the layer down 12 semitones and also add a lot of unison. Already sounds quite fat, but let's add layer 4. Gonna also modulate the pulse width. To give the sound even more movement, and also add unison and transpose it up 12 semitones. Now we're gonna EQ the sound a little bit. I just wanted to have the high frequencies. That sounds good. Now let's add, I think, some reverb. QUADRIUM has its own reverb, but here I wanted to use the Lexicon reverb. That sounds good. Now I recorded the pad, and that sounds really fat, but I wanted to modulate the main filter with the modulation wheel. So I recorded the chord as it is without modulation, and now I edit the chord a little bit, put it on the right place, and now I'm gonna add the modulation. So here I rename it THX ending, and then we're gonna record the cut-off modulation here on this part. Yeah, I wanted to close the sound. That's already nice, but I also wanted to modulate the volume via the MIDI controller, so I added that too, and now I'm recording it. Yeah, I think that's really nice. Now let's add the THX intro part I was talking about. Like I said, the sound will start in total chaos and then morphs to a nice fat lead sound. I'm gonna achieve that by modulating the detune parameter of the unison with the modulation lane 1. QUADRIUM has modulation lanes. With them you can precisely create modulations, and that's what we're gonna do now. I'm setting up the modulation here, and now you can modulate the detune with this modulation lane 1. Yeah, I have to put up the detune. Yeah. And as you can hear, it starts in chaos. Was not quite perfect. I have to edit it 2 times now. And the cool thing with the modulation lanes, you not only can paint your complete shapes for the modulation, you also can set the timing in seconds or hertz, and check now how many seconds the break has. Here's the picture. So I want to modulate the unison detune in this break, so I set the modulation lane 1 to 5 seconds, I think. That's the time it needs. Yeah, that looks nice. That's cool, and now I also want to edit the volume, because I don't want to start it right away. I want to start it quiet and then get loud, so that we have a bridge, like a riser. Okay, the part is muted, so let's solo it too. That was too fast. Here we go, that looks good. Yeah, that is quite nice. And this is how you easily can build your own sound design with QUADRIUM. that. And now we're gonna record a final hit. It was a deep synth Brahms from QUADRIUM. And last but not least, deep organ, church organ bass, also on the final ending. Yeah, that sounds quite nice. Let's get it into the project and put it on the right place. Okay, I hope you liked the video, and as I said, starting mid-September 25 there will be a Kickstarter campaign for QUADRIUM that will help me to finish the plugin, and I would be really grateful if you could support the project. Alright, see you next time, bye.